Single mother brings her daughter to work. Millionaire CEO frozen by the girl's incredible talent. Lisa hurried up the stairs of her Chicago high-rise, her pulse racing. She was late, again. The world around her moved at breakneck speed, the sound of the city rising above her like a cacophony of urgency and ambition. Her small apartment felt worlds away as she gripped Mia's hand more tightly, trying not to let her nerves show. The babysitter had bailed last minute, leaving Lisa no choice but to bring her gifted 8-year-old daughter to work. The bustling office had always been her refuge and her prison all at once. But today, it felt more daunting than ever as the elevator doors opened. The tension in her chest tightened. Rows of desks, endless files, rushed conversations filled the air. This was Lisa's world, a pressure cooker of corporate expectations. Yet amidst it all, Mia seemed to float, her wide eyes capturing beauty from chaos. Lisa sat Mia down with crayons and a coloring book, hoping to keep her daughter entertained just long enough to get through the day. But as fate would have it, right when the clock struck 3, the office broke for a midday coffee. The room buzzed with laughter and chatter when, out of nowhere, Mia stood. "Mommy, can I sing?" she asked, her voice soft yet confident. Lisa felt her heart quicken. Not here, she thought. The judgment, the whispers, they felt like a storm waiting to unleash. Yet, against every instinct to hold her back, Lisa nodded. Mia stepped onto a chair, her small frame trembling with nerves that soon transformed into pure joy as her voice filled the room. It was as delicate as a feather, yet powerful enough to silence every conversation. "You are my sunshine, my only sunshine," she sang, her innocence dancing through the air. Even the stocks and reports seemed to fade, replaced by gasps and awe. Jack, the firm's millionaire CEO, found himself mesmerized. Known for his cutthroat edge, he was not one to show emotion easily. But there he was, frozen by the purity of Mia's talent. He watched as the girl poured her heart into every note, rediscovering a lost piece of himself he thought didn't exist anymore. As Mia's performance wrapped up, the office erupted in applause, but Lisa felt her heart race for a different reason. With Mia's newfound spotlight came questions, opportunities, offers, expectations. She could already hear the whispers. Was she really this talented? Or did her mom pull strings? The weight of being a single mother hung heavy on Lisa's heart. Giving Mia a chance could mean a better future, but would she herself be judged even more? The economic divide seemed to stretch endlessly before her. Before we continue, I need to let you know about something important that's happening. YouTube has been making changes to the system, and many people are losing notifications from channels they follow. If you're enjoying the content, hit that bell and mark all notifications so you don't miss the next videos. And if you can drop a like, it really helps me with reach. Seriously, it makes a difference. Oh, let me know in the comments where you're watching from. I'm always curious to know who's on the other side of the screen. Now let's continue. Later that week, an invitation in her mailbox felt like a weighty anchor. A corporate gala filled with the elite. She was being asked to come showcase her professionalism. But what if this was a moment for Mia? More than just business, maybe it was a chance to push back against the stigma that came with being a single mother. Could she face the judgment and pridefully stand by her daughter? As Lisa prepared for the gala, doubts crashed against her resolve like waves in a storm. She needed to confront the fears that pressed against her, reminding her of the stigma of being a mother in a world driven by privilege. Would she allow love and talent to shine in a world full of odds stacked against them? Would Jack, captivated by Mia's voice, help them push through the clouds of despair toward a brighter horizon? The path ahead was unknown, but it shimmered with promise, a tapestry of dreams both fragile and fierce. The evening of the gala arrived faster than Lisa anticipated. A flurry of emotions swirled within her: excitement, anxiety, hope. The gala hall, an opulent venue adorned with twinkling lights and elegant decor, felt like a scene from a movie. She stood in front of the mirror, smoothing her dress, taking a moment to breathe. Mia's innocent voice echoed in her mind, reminding her of the beauty that existed even amidst chaos. As they entered the grand hall, Lisa held Mia's hand tightly. The room was filled with well-dressed professionals, laughter mixing with the soft notes of a live string quartet. Waiters glided by, offering drinks and hors d'oeuvres, while shadows danced around the lavishly set tables. Lisa felt small in the midst of such opulence. But Mia, she was awe-inspiring. Her eyes sparkled as she took in her surroundings, whispering words of wonder about the shimmering lights and the beautiful people. In that moment, Lisa felt a surge of pride. This was her daughter. The judgment of the world seemed distant as their hands clasped tightly together. "Mommy," Mia said, her voice pulling Lisa from her thoughts. "Can I sing here? Just like at your office?" Caught off guard, Lisa hesitated. This was not the time or place to let her daughter perform for strangers. But deep down, she knew Mia would shine, just like she did in the office. Maybe this was their chance to share that talent with an even larger audience. Just then, she spotted Jack across the room, his presence commanding. He was deep in conversation, his brow furrowed, but when he noticed Lisa and Mia, a warmth spread across his face. He walked over. "Lisa, I didn't expect to see you here. And is this the famous Mia?" Mia's face lit up at his words. "I'm going to sing again," she exclaimed, her joy infectious. Lisa's heart swelled as Jack knelt to Mia's level, genuinely interested. "That's great. You really surprised everyone the other day," he said, and Lisa couldn't help but smile. A moment later, Mia's clear voice rang out, capturing attention as if drawn by magic. "Can I sing now?" she asked more confidently than before. Lisa's heartbeat quickened. The stakes suddenly felt so much larger. "Maybe we should wait," she began. But then she looked into Mia's hopeful eyes. This could be a special moment, not just for Mia, but for them both. "All right, let us find a place," Lisa finally said, her resolve hardening. Jack smiled and motioned to the stage set at the far end of the room. With every step they took toward the stage, Lisa felt the weight of their situation. Questions buzzed in her mind. Would guests view Mia's performance as a gimmick? A way for a mother to climb the corporate ladder? Or could her daughter's gift shine on its own? As they reached the stage, Lisa took a deep breath. She nodded at Mia, who looked back, her eyes wide, filled with determination. Jack stepped back, giving them space, but the gaze he held told Lisa he believed in them. Mia stepped up to the microphone, her small hands gripping it tightly. She exuded confidence, a stark contrast to Lisa's racing heart. "This song is for everyone out there," she announced, her voice filling the air once again. And just like before, she began to sing. The room hushed, conversations faded, and one by one, heads turned. Lisa watched, her fears momentarily forgotten, as Mia poured her soul into the notes. The transformation was breathtaking. As Mia's voice soared, she became a beacon of hope in that lavish hall, capturing every heart. In that instant, Lisa felt a sense of purpose blossom within her. Facing the world's judgment felt less daunting, and for the first time the path ahead didn't just shimmer, it blazed. But then, a familiar figure in the audience caught her eye, filled with skepticism. Lisa's heart sank. What if the very chance she hoped for was now marred by doubt? As Mia sang, something changed within Lisa. She was ready to fight for her daughter, for the both of them. But at what cost? The notes floated through the air, weaving a spell that enveloped everyone. Lisa stood there, a mix of pride and fear dancing in her chest. Each word Mia sang was a strike against the doubts clawing at her mind. She could see the audience noticing, turning heads, eyes lighting up. Mia was a force, and in that moment, she was unstoppable. As the last note hung in the air, a wave of applause washed over the room. The sound seemed to swell, echoing off the gilded walls, filling every corner with unabashed admiration. Lisa's heart soared. This was the moment she had been holding her breath for, a moment where they both could shine. Mia stepped back from the microphone, eyes bright, a huge smile plastered on her face. She looked up at her mom, waiting for the validation. The joy reflected in Lisa's eyes would determine if this was more than just a one-time wonder. "You were incredible," Lisa exclaimed, pulling Mia in for a tight hug. "I'm so proud of you." Just then, the familiar figure she had spotted earlier broke through the crowd. Angela, her old rival from the corporate world, approached with an expression that could only be described as fractured disbelief. As much as they had fought over promotions and projects, Angela had always kept her distance from Lisa's personal life. Well, it seems your little girl has quite the talent, Angela said, her voice dripping with sarcasm, though Lisa could hear a trace of genuine unease lurking beneath. Thank you, Lisa replied, her voice firm, braced against the criticism. It's not a little talent. Mia has a gift. Is that what the audience thinks? Angela asked, glancing around. Or are they just being polite? Mia's expression flickered, a blend of confusion and concern. Lisa quickly kneeled down beside her, cupping her daughter's cheek. Don't listen to her, sweetheart. You were amazing, and we should celebrate it. The applause started to fade, but Lisa could feel a tension building in the air. She straightened up, her resolve sharpening. I'm proud of Mia, and I won't let anyone downplay her talent. Not anymore. Jack stepped back in, clearly sensing the shift. Lisa, you need to take this moment. It's huge for you and Mia, he encouraged gently, his eyes urging her to seize the opportunity. But even as Lisa's heart raced at the prospect, thoughts of judgment loomed large. What if they turned this moment into a spectacle? Was Mia ready for the spotlight? The gala had been an escape, a day of dreams, and now the reality of them crashing into judgment felt too overwhelming. Before she could respond, the crowd shifted, murmurs rising. A man in a perfectly tailored suit had stepped onto the stage. Familiarity struck Lisa hard. Richard, the powerful CEO known for his decisive opinions and sharp eyes. He could make or break careers with a single statement, and the unknown now loomed like a storm cloud. Mia, right? Richard's deep voice projected across the room. He leaned in, eyes locked onto her. I must admit that was unexpected. How would you feel about performing again, perhaps at my upcoming charity event? The words hung in the air, heavy with possibility and weight. Lisa felt the world narrow down to that single question, a chance for Mia, a potential door opening, but at what risk? Mia beamed up at her. I want to sing everywhere. Lisa's heart raced, torn between a mother's fierce desire to protect and a burgeoning hope for a brighter future. Nothing had prepared her for this. Was she ready to enter this unfamiliar world of expectations? Could they handle what was about to unfold? As Richard awaited her answer, Lisa felt the pull of all that they had endured. This moment was the cusp of something significant. But what would happen if she dared to say yes? What if she let Mia take that leap? All eyes were on her now. The weight of their dreams rested heavily. Ready or not, the next step was calling. Lisa, Richard's deep voice pulled her from her thoughts. The gaze of the room felt like a spotlight, bright and unyielding. She could sense Mia's excitement bubbling over, but the weight of the moment dragged at Lisa like an anchor. Mom? Mia asked, her voice tiny against the murmurs of the crowd. Can we? Lisa's heart pounded. Time stretched as she grappled with the enormity of this decision. It wasn't just about a performance. It was about a path for Mia that could lead them into uncharted waters. What if the pressures of public life overwhelmed her? But how could she deny her daughter an opportunity like this? She looked into Mia's eyes full of hope and the kind of fierce determination that only a child could possess. Lisa remembered her own dreams, buried under layers of fear. Could she really let Mia step into the spotlight to chase her own? It's a big chance, she finally said, her voice catching on the last word. Are you sure you want this, Mia? Yes, I can do it. Mia's smile widened, radiating pure joy, the kind of joy that made everything around them fade into the background. Richard tilted his head slightly, waiting for her response. The murmurs of the crowd faded as if by some silent command. It was just them now. Lisa took a deep breath. Richard, we'd love to perform, she said, her voice steadying with each word. Mia is ready. The applause erupted into cheers, an overwhelming sound that wrapped around them like a warm hug. Lisa felt tears pricking at her eyes, but she blinked them away, heart filled with both exhilaration and fear. Suddenly, Angela stepped forward, her expression now a mixture of surprise and something else, Admiration? Maybe? I didn't realize you were willing to take such a leap. Lisa, she offered, softer than her earlier remarks. Takes guts. Guts. The word clung to her. It was a risky dance, stepping out of the shadows and into the light. But, with Mia by her side, maybe it was a dance they were ready to embrace together. The next few moments were a blur. Lisa's phone buzzed, signaling an influx of messages flooding in friends, family, even former co-workers congratulating them. Felt surreal. They were on the brink of something big, something that could change everything. Mia. Jack knelt beside them, his eyes sparkling with pride. This is going to be amazing for you. Are you proud of me, Mom? Mia's eyes glistened with tears of excitement, and Lisa's heart swelled. I'm proud of you every day, sweetheart, she whispered, wrapping her arms around Mia again. But inside, a nagging voice urged caution. Was this the right choice? Was she prepared for the world of talent shows, publicity, and the inevitable criticisms that would come? As if sensing her hesitation, Mia pulled away slightly, cupping her mother's face. We can do this together, Mom. You promised me. All the way, right? The sincerity in Mia's eyes forced Lisa to nod. It was them against the world now. The journey ahead was unknown, but they would tackle it together. Together, Lisa affirmed, the word echoing in her heart as Richard stepped forward. Already planning the next steps as laughter and discussion bubbled around them. Another wave of uncertainty crashed through Lisa. She had let them take the leap, but where would it land them? What challenges awaited, hidden behind the excitement? When the moment of truth arrived, would they soar, or would they fall? The air crackled with potential, and as laughter mingled with applause, Lisa knew one thing for certain: they were right at the edge of something that could change their lives forever. The days that followed were a whirlwind. The phone calls, texts, and planning meetings began to feel like a second job. Lisa found herself immersed in a new world where schedules revolved around auditions and rehearsals. It was thrilling and exhausting all at once. Mia had officially signed up for the talent show, and she couldn't have been more excited. She practiced in every spare moment, twirling and singing in their living room until the sun dipped below the horizon. Lisa watched, often from the kitchen doorway, as her daughter transformed into a shining star full of light and life, radiating confidence that seemed to loom larger than their small apartment. Still, Lisa wrestled with her own fears. Was the attention too much for Mia? The pressure, the judgment, it all echoed in her mind. Just the thought of the critics made her heart race. This isn't just a fun little performance, she reminded herself. This is a step into a world that can tear you apart if you're not careful. One evening, after another vigorous round of practice, Mia plopped down on the couch, breathing heavily and sweating with joy. Mom, did you see that? I nailed the high note. Lisa smiled, pride bubbling up but laced with apprehension. You did great, Mia. You really did. Then why do you look like a balloon ready to burst? Mia tilted her head, her innocent gaze searching her mom's face. Lisa took a breath, letting her daughter's optimism wash over her. It's just I want you to be happy, sweetheart. I want you to enjoy this, but it's a big deal. Mia reached for Lisa's hand, the small grasp grounding in a way only a child's love can. I'm ready. You always tell me to take chances, right? This is mine. You're right, Lisa admitted, squeezing Mia's tiny hand. I just want to protect you from the mean words that can come. Sometimes they hurt more than you think. Mia frowned but nodded slowly. You're my protector, Mom. But I also want to fly, and I want you to fly with me. We're a team. With those words, a flicker of courage ignited inside Lisa. Maybe this was less about her fears of public life and more about building Mia's wings. Maybe she could help her soar instead of clipping the feathers before they had a chance to grow. As the days turned into nights, and rehearsal after rehearsal played out, the talent show drew near. Lisa began to notice her own transformation. With every moment spent with Mia, she felt stronger and more confident, slowly shaking off the weight of her past insecurities. Mom, I want to sing a song that tells our story, Mia announced one evening, her eyes sparkling with determination. It's about us against the world. Lisa felt a lump form in her throat at Mia's words. It was a beautiful idea, capturing their journey together. What song? She asked. I'll write it. Mia beamed, bouncing on the balls of her feet. Can you help me with the chorus? They spent the night crafting lyrics that embodied their fears, dreams, and unwavering bond. Laughter and some tears filled the air as they penned down their story. That was the plan, but the moment of truth loomed closer. Each day brought new doubts, new worries creeping into the edges of Lisa's mind. As she tucked Mia into bed one night, she couldn't help but wonder, what if the world didn't embrace her daughter the way she did? Mom, are you ever scared? Mia asked, her eyes heavy with sleep. Sometimes, Lisa whispered, brushing a lock of hair from Mia's forehead. But fear has to take a backseat to courage, right? We have each other, right? Mia yawned, drifting into dreams filled with music and laughter. But Lisa lay awake, wrestling with her thoughts. She needed to channel her fears into assurance for Mia. What if they soared together against all odds? The night before the performance, as Lisa stared into their mirrored reflection, she made a promise. Tomorrow would bring clarity, a chance to take back control and stand proud beside her daughter. As the sun dipped below the horizon once more, Lisa's phone dinged with a message. It was Richard, buzzing with enthusiasm. Can't wait to see you both shine. But little did Lisa know, this moment would test their bond more than she could ever imagine. Morning arrived with a mix of excitement and trepidation. Lisa walked into the kitchen, the sunlight filtering through the curtains, casting a golden glow on the floor. Mia's laughter floated through the air as she danced around, warm and unrestricted. It was infectious. Lisa felt the heaviness in her chest ease just a little, but once she glanced at the clock, reality hit. Okay, superstar. Time to get ready for your big day, Lisa called, trying to keep the cheerfulness in her voice. Though her heart raced faster than ever, Mia paused mid-spin, her eyes wide with eagerness. Mom, do you think the judges will like my song? Lisa knelt down to her level, tucking a loose strand of hair behind Mia's ear. They are going to love it. Comes from your heart. Just remember to smile and have fun. Mia nodded, confidence bubbling in her small frame. I will. Team Mom and Mia forever. They shared a quick hug, and in that moment, Lisa felt the weight of responsibility on her shoulders. This was more than just a talent show. This was Mia's chance to shine, but it was also a chance for Lisa to confront her own fears. After a quick breakfast, they dressed in matching outfits, soft denim, and bright t-shirts that screamed joy. It was a small gesture, but it made Lisa feel connected and stronger. Each step toward the car felt like they were marching toward glory, yet part of her wanted to turn back, just for a moment, to hug Mia tighter at the venue. The atmosphere buzzed with excitement. The auditorium overflowed with chatter and laughter. As they entered the building, colorful posters advertising the talent show adorned the walls. Each poster felt like a beacon of dreams, a reminder of what was at stake. Look at that, Mia squealed, pointing excitedly at a poster announcing the event. Can you believe we're really here? Yes, here we are. This is your moment, Mia. Lisa's voice trembled, tinged with a mixture of pride and lingering anxiety as they approached the registration area. Mia's eyes darted around, soaking in every detail. Children practiced their routines in small groups, while parents tried to calm nerves and encourage their little stars. Lisa felt her pulse quicken, a stark contrast to Mia's carefree excitement. Lisa! Richard's voice broke through the crowd, drawing Lisa's attention. He approached, grinning widely. You both look amazing. I can't wait to see her perform. Thanks, Lisa replied, her voice quickening. She is so ready, but I'm just over here you know. Hey, you're the one being the supportive mom. The real rock star here, Richard assured her, giving her an encouraging smile that all but melted some of her worries away as they settled into their seats among other parents and children. Lisa looked around. The energy in the room was palpable. She could feel the excitement mixed with nervous anticipation. When the first act began, Mia gripped Lisa's hand tightly. Each performance that followed only amplified the tension building in the air. The echo of applause rang out, and each round of cheers made the nagging questions weigh heavier in Lisa's mind. What if Mia's voice didn't carry? What if they didn't love her song? "Mom, I'm ready," Mia whispered, and the determination in her daughter's voice broke through the fog of Lisa's worries. "Go get him, kiddo," Lisa responded, her smile now genuine, heart swelling with pride. But before they knew it, the announcer called Mia's name. The moment of truth was here. With a twist of excitement, Mia squeezed her mom's hand, and together they walked towards the stage. The lights dimmed, and a spotlight hit Mia, illuminating her like a sunbeam breaking through a stormy sky. As she stood there, the audience faded away, and Lisa's heart was a drumbeat in her chest. Mia took a deep breath, ready to tell their story. But just as the music began, the unexpected happened. A loud crash echoed from the back of the auditorium, drawing gasps from the audience and freezing everyone in place. The crowd collectively held its breath, eyes darting towards the back of the auditorium where the chaos had erupted. A table had toppled over, sending chairs clattering to the floor. Lisa's heart leapt into her throat. Was anyone hurt? Mia flinched slightly at the noise but quickly regained her footing, her resolve shining through her initial surprise. "Mom," she whispered, her little voice steady despite the commotion. "I want to start. Are you sure, sweetheart? Maybe we should wait." Lisa's voice trailed off, churning in uncertainty. But Mia looked up at her, determination blazing in her wide eyes. "I'm ready, Mom," she insisted. This was her moment, and nothing would overshadow that. Taking one last glance at the mess unfolding behind her, Lisa nodded, a mix of pride and nerves flooding her heart. "You've got this, baby. Just remember to take a deep breath." As Mia stepped into the spotlight once more, the buzz of the audience faded, replaced by the warm glow of the stage lights wrapping around her like a protective hug. The crash still echoed in Lisa's mind, but seeing Mia standing tall shifted her focus entirely. Mia took another deep breath, her small hands clutching the microphone like it was her lifeline. The music swelled, a perfect blend of notes perfectly crafted for the story she had in her heart. The melody washed over the audience, a gentle embrace that beckoned them all to listen. Mia closed her eyes for a moment, and when she opened them again, she sang. Her voice filled the auditorium, smooth and unwavering. Lisa felt her breath hitch as she listened, swept away by the beauty of her daughter's performance. Each note soared, weaving stories of dreams and hope, dissolving the tension that had crept into the air. Mia's passion was undeniable. Richard, sitting nearby, leaned closer to Lisa, his eyes wide with awe. "She's incredible. I knew she had it in her. But this... wow!" Lisa turned to him, her heart bursting at his words. "I just want her to shine," she murmured, tears pricking at the corners of her eyes. As Mia sang, the audience began to move with her, swaying in rhythm, clapping gently along. Lisa felt a sense of connection spreading through the room, a collective jubilation igniting hope within each heart present. It was as if Mia was not just performing. She was uniting everyone in the most magical way. Just then, from the corner of her eyes, Lisa caught sight of the judges. One of them, a tall man with sharp features and a discerning gaze, leaned forward, clearly captivated by Mia. Lisa's heart raced. This could mean everything. Mia finished the final note, leaving an echo in the air. For a moment, silence reigned, and then thunderous applause erupted from the audience. Lisa jumped to her feet, clapping vigorously. The cheers mingled with her tears of joy. "Go, Mia!" she shouted, overwhelmed with pride as Mia beamed under the bright stage lights. Lisa felt a tug of anxiety. What did this all mean? Sometimes dreams came with steep prices, and the thought gripped her mind. The judges scribbled notes, but the expression on their faces was unreadable. Before she could contemplate further, there was a commotion off stage, and the audience hushed again. A woman approached the judges, her heels clacking on the wooden floor as she walked. Lisa's heart sank. The woman was dressed in an expensive suit, exuding an air of authority that sent shivers down Lisa's spine. As the woman leaned in to speak to the judges, Lisa felt a knot forming in her stomach. Was this about to change everything? Then came the moment that no one expected. A voice filled with clarity edged out the murmurs from the judges. I want to sign her. The room fell silent as all eyes turned towards Mia, who stood glowing on stage, eyes sparkling with disbelief. Lisa held her breath, the world around her swirling into a blur. What would this mean for them? Did they dare to hope? And just like that, a whole new world opened up before them. The applause faded into an anxious murmur, a buzz of speculation filling the air as the judges exchanged whispers. Time seemed to stretch, each second heavy with unspoken possibilities. Mia stood on stage, the bright lights creating a halo around her. She searched the audience, her gaze finally landing on Lisa, who wore a mask of conflicting emotions, pride mixed with fear. What does this mean? Lisa thought, her heart racing. Would they be thrust into a world of glitz and glamour? Or would they sink under the weight of expectations? The woman in the business suit turned, and her sharp eyes locked onto Mia. I'm serious. This girl has something special. I can see it. I want to bring her into my label. Gasps rippled through the crowd. Mia's mouth fell open, her tiny hands shaking just a bit. In that moment, Lisa felt a jolt. Her daughter, her Mia, was right on the edge of something enormous. But then came the doubts. Questions that rattled around in Lisa's mind like loose change. Was this the right path? What if the industry was too harsh for Mia's gentle spirit? The judges finally nodded, visibly impressed. We will set up a meeting, the tall man said, leaning back, his expression firm yet enthusiastic. This is an excellent opportunity, and we can guide you. Mia nodded, though the weight of it all was starting to dawn on her. She smiled, but Lisa could see the flicker of anxiety behind her bright eyes. The audience erupted into applause again, and for a brief instant, it felt as if they were all floating in a bubble of happiness. But the air was still thick with tension, the uncertainty lingering just below the surface. Richard leaned close, speaking in a low tone but filled with excitement. This could mean everything for both of you. Imagine the possibilities. Lisa forced a smile, trying to reflect his enthusiasm. Yes, but there is so much we don't know. It's a big world out there. Sometimes you just have to dive in. Lisa, he said, squeezing her shoulder gently. You've got to trust Mia. She's got a gift. Mia stepped off stage, still radiating energy but also a little lost. Lisa rushed to her, pulling her into a tight embrace. You did amazing, honey. I'm so proud of you. Mom, what is going to happen now? Mia asked, her voice barely above a whisper, eyes wide. I don't know, but whatever it is, we'll face it together. You're not alone in this, Mia, she reassured her, though she wasn't entirely sure if it was meant for her daughter or for herself. As they stepped away from the stage, the buzz of the audience faded into a soft echo, leaving the two of them cloaked in a world of their own. Lisa spotted the woman approaching, her expression unreadable yet somehow both inviting and daunting. Mia, we need to discuss your future, the woman said, her voice smooth and professional. Are you ready for this? Mia looked up at her mother, uncertainty flickering in her gaze. Lisa heard the whispers of doubt, but she also felt something else, an ember of hope beginning to glow brighter. Mia took a breath, her small shoulders squaring as she answered, Yes, I'm ready. Lisa's heart soared. Could they truly step into this new world? But as the woman began discussing contracts and schedules, Lisa felt a shadow of dread creep in. What if this dream turned into a nightmare? What if they lost each other in the chaos? Mia beamed, absorbed in the moment, unaware of the storm brewing in Lisa's heart. This felt like a turning point, but was it truly a blessing or a curse? As they walked hand in hand towards the unknown, Lisa silently vowed to protect her daughter at all costs. It was a promise to herself. What challenges awaited them as they stepped deeper into the spotlight? And would the light bring them closer or draw them apart? The meeting room felt sterile and cold. White walls surrounded them, and the long glass table gleamed under the harsh fluorescent lights. Mia sat straight, her small hands clasped tightly together. The excitement of the moment began to feel overwhelming. Across from them, the woman in the business suit started outlining possibilities. but the words morphed into a blur of jargon and expectations. Mia, think of what we can achieve together, she encouraged, her voice smooth and enticing. You're about to embark on a wonderful journey, a chance to be in commercials, music videos, maybe even movies. With each mention of a new opportunity, Mia's smile widened and dimmed in equal measure. She was a little girl with a dream, but suddenly, it felt like a dream that was getting too big not just for her, but for them both. What about school? Mia asked abruptly, her voice cutting through the corporate talk. I don't want to miss my friends. The woman hesitated, a flash of surprise crossing her face. We can work around that. Online courses, perhaps. And with success, school can wait. Lisa felt the knives of worry stab through her heart. But education is important. It shouldn't come second to chasing fame. She interjected, feeling an urgent need to steer this conversation back to something grounded. Of course, we can make it work, the woman replied, a little defensively. But this is a rare opportunity, and sometimes sacrifices are necessary for success. Mia's gaze darted between her mother and the woman, confusion etched on her face. For a moment, she seemed older than her years. This wasn't just a rehearsal for a school play. This was the start of something vastly different, a potential emanating from her very soul, yet laden with adult complexities that made Lisa ache for her innocence. Can we take a break? Mia finally blurted, her voice shaky. I need to think. Of course, the woman replied, sensing the weight in the room shift toward discomfort. As she walked out, Lisa swept her arm around Mia's shoulders, pulling her into a comforting embrace. Take a breath, sweetheart. It's okay to feel overwhelmed, Lisa said softly, feeling her own pulse quicken. What are you thinking? Mia looked up, a mix of fear and determination clouding her eyes. I love performing, Mom. But what if I'm not good enough? What if I fail? Failure isn't the end. It's just a stepping stone to the next success. Lisa reassured her, holding her close. But I'll never push you into something you don't want. This has to be your choice. Your dream. Mia nodded, but uncertainty still lingered in her gaze. She stared out the window, watching the city buzz with life, so vivid and vibrant. What if I love it? What if it's everything I want? Then we'll celebrate. We'll make it work, side by side. Lisa promised, though inside she felt the tension spiral. Could they really navigate this world of glamour without losing each other? As they returned to the meeting, Lisa sensed the sea of change crashing around them. The woman now presented a contract, a legal pact attached to bright lights and potential stardom. Mia's heart raced, but so did Lisa's, though for different reasons. A rush of excitement filled the air. But what if this led Mia down paths she couldn't return from? The new world teemed with both shimmering promises and shadows. Mia, do you want to sign? The woman asked, her eyes glinting with expectation. Mia hesitated, her fingers dancing over the edge of the paper. It was a choice that could either lift them into the stars or plunge them into darkness. Mom? Mia's voice trembled, seeking a guiding light amidst the confusion. Lisa swallowed hard, realizing this moment was more than a crossroads. It was the beginning of a new chapter with limitless possibilities. But was Mia ready for it? More importantly, was she? As each second ticked by, the question lingered like an unturned card. Would they walk into the spotlight, or choose to turn away? With the weight of the decision hanging heavy, they were about to reveal what dreams are made of or what sacrifices accompany those dreams. As the pressure filled the air, Mia stared at the contract, her tiny fingers tracing the words. Lisa watched anxiously, her heart pounding like a drum. Every glance at her daughter's face revealed a roller coaster of emotions: excitement, fear, confusion. There was something magical about this moment, but also something terrifying. Mom, what if I sign? What if it's everything I've dreamed of? Mia's voice was quivering, a reflection of her heart's longing. Lisa knelt beside her, wiping a stray tear from her cheek. Then we find a way to make it work, she whispered, urging her daughter to chase joy rather than pressure. But it has to come from you. This is about your happiness, sweetheart, not what anyone else wants. Mia nodded slowly, absorbing her mom's words. They both knew the stakes. Fame brought both light and shadow, but essential was the understanding of how to navigate it together. "You promise I won't lose myself?" Mia asked earnestly. "Promise?" Lisa affirmed, enveloping her in a protective embrace. "Just remember to have fun. I'll always be by your side, guiding you, holding your hand as we both learn." The room fell quiet as they sat together, reconnecting through warmth and love. After a brief pause, Mia's shoulders straightened, her eyes sparkling with renewed determination. "Then I want to do it. I want to sign." A thrill shot through Lisa. "We can take our time, this is a huge decision," she cautioned gently. But the light in Mia's eyes was infectious. There was no denying her energy, her unyielding belief that this dream was within reach. With renewed resolve, they turned to the woman in the suit. "Mia is ready," Lisa announced, her voice steady, yet warm. The glint of hope in her daughter's gaze pushed her forward. "We just have to ensure that the joy stays central to this journey." The businesswoman nodded, a pleased smile gracing her lips. "Absolutely, it's important to keep the love for music thriving. Let us create a contract focusing on your priorities. Can be flexible." Slowly, the reality of it began to set in. As the woman detailed the next steps, additions, songs, and workshops, Lisa's worry began to dissipate. Perhaps they could carve a niche that balanced ambition with the warmth of home, all while keeping Mia's laughter at the forefront of it all. Eventually, when the papers were slid across the table, Mia took a deep breath and signed her name in bold letters, sealing her commitment to herself and her dreams. The moment was electric, and Lisa's heart burst with pride. They were embarking on an adventure. Together as they exited the building hand in hand, Lisa felt a surge of hope. She could see a new path emerging, sparkly yet daunting. But this time, the worries seemed lighter, and confidence breathed life into her steps. They would navigate this journey as a team, unbreakable, unyielding, filled with purpose. Days turned into weeks, and the whirlwind of auditions and record meetings began to shape Mia into someone she'd only begun to recognize, a budding star. Amidst all the noise and lights, Lisa kept a steady anchor, creating moments at home filled with laughter and love. They baked cookies together, danced in the living room, and sang their hearts out under the stars, reminding each other that joy was the core of it all. Then one evening, as they sat side by side, the weight of the world lifted a bit more. "Mom, you're my cheerleader," Mia declared, her gaze unwavering. "Thanks for believing in me." With every breath, "Darling," Lisa responded, tears of joy glistening in her eyes. "And you believing in you, that's what matters most. You've grown into such a beautiful soul, talented and fierce." The doorbell chimed, signaling a delivery. Lisa opened the door to find a gift basket of flowers, instruments, and heartfelt notes from friends, like little reminders of their support. This journey, still new and rocky, was buoyed by love and encouragement as they spent that evening sharing stories of dreams. The realization hit Lisa. It hadn't been just Mia transforming. She too was shedding her past fears, stepping into a bolder version of herself. The joy of seeing her daughter happy reignited the dreams Lisa had tucked away for so long. "Mia, do you think maybe someday you'll sing for the world?" Lisa asked softly. "Not just for them," Mia replied, eyes sparkling. "But for us too. We'll sing together forever." And with that, the beat of their hearts synchronized, creating a melody of hope and pride. They were ready to face the world, the two of them as one, because after all this, they had discovered their greatest strength was together. Life was a stage, and they would perform their journey, organically, with love lighting the way. As the sun set on their dreams, it was just the beginning of an electrifying adventure, one filled with laughter, music, and an unbreakable bond. Now it was your turn. Subscribe immediately to the channel to not miss the next exclusive stories. Leave a like now to feed the algorithm and show your love. Comment your reactions and feelings about the ending, don't hold back. Share instantly this video with at least 5 friends who need to see this transformation, because only true fans understand the importance of supporting our journey. This is your moment to uplift each other. Don't wait not even one more second to share.